You believe you are reading these words right now because you chose to. You believe that when you picked up your phone this morning, when you chose what to eat, when you decided to speak or stay silent, those were your choices, made by you, in the moment, consciously, freely. But neuroscience has confirmed something that should fundamentally change how you understand yourself. You did not make those decisions. Not consciously, not in the moment. Something else made them. A hidden layer of your mind, operating below conscious awareness. And your conscious self simply received the result. Like an employee who gets a memo from management and believes he wrote it himself. The evidence for this is not theoretical. It is documented, measured, replicated across decades of research. And once you understand it, you cannot unsee it. The experiment that changed everything. In 1983, a neuroscientist named Benjamin Libet conducted an experiment that has never been satisfactorily explained away. He asked participants to flex their wrist whenever they felt like it, completely freely, completely spontaneously. While they did this, he measured two things: the electrical activity in their brain, and the moment they became consciously aware of the decision to move. What he found was devastating to the conventional understanding of free will. The brain showed electrical activity preparing for the movement, called the readiness potential, a full 550 milliseconds before the participants moved their wrist. That is expected. What was not expected was this. The participants did not become consciously aware of their decision to move until 200 milliseconds before the movement, which means the brain was preparing to act 350 milliseconds before the conscious mind was even aware a decision had been made. Your brain decided. Then it informed your conscious mind. Then your conscious mind believed it had decided. The decision was made in the dark. Your awareness arrived after the fact, like a journalist covering an event that had already occurred, and filed a report in the first person. This is not just about moving your wrist. The Libet experiment was simple, but subsequent research has gone much further. In 2008, a team at the Max Planck Institute used brain scanning technology to predict what decision a participant would make up to 10 seconds before the participant was consciously aware of making it. 10 full seconds. The participant sitting in the scanner, believing they were about to freely choose, had already been decided. The decision was already written in their neural activity almost a third of a minute before they knew it existed. Think about what that means for every decision you believe you made today. The conversation you chose to start or avoid, the food you reached for, the person you judged before they finished speaking, the risk you took or did not take. Were any of these conscious choices, or were they outputs delivered to consciousness after the hidden layer had already processed, evaluated, and decided? The research suggests the latter, consistently. The hidden layer has a name, and it runs almost everything. Neuroscientists and psychologists call it by several names: the adaptive unconscious, System 1, the non-conscious mind. But whatever you call it, its scale is staggering. Your conscious mind processes approximately 40 bits of information per second. 40. Your non-conscious mind processes approximately 11 million bits per second. Every second of your life, your hidden layer is processing 275,000 times more information than your conscious awareness ever receives. It is monitoring your body, scanning your environment, evaluating social threats, pattern matching every incoming face and voice and smell and situation against a vast database of past experience, and generating responses, judgments, and decisions that are then handed upward to consciousness, already complete. You feel at the non-conscious level, and then your conscious mind constructs a rational explanation for why you feel that way. The explanation feels like the cause. It is not. It is the story your conscious mind tells itself after the hidden layer has already acted. This is why you walk into a room and immediately dislike someone before they have said a word. Your hidden layer processed their posture, their micro-expressions, the way they occupy space, cross-referenced it against every threatening or untrustworthy person you have ever encountered, and delivered a verdict. Your conscious mind received the verdict and called it intuition. The hidden layer was shaped before you could think. Here is where it becomes deeply personal. The hidden layer that is making your decisions right now was not built by you, it was built for you, by your earliest experiences, by the emotional environment of your childhood, before you had the language or the awareness to evaluate it, by every repeated pattern your nervous system encountered, before your prefrontal cortex, the seat of conscious reasoning, was even fully developed. Which means the decisions being made on your behalf, the judgments, the reactions, the choices that feel most instinctive and most truly yours, are largely the outputs of programming you did not choose, installed in a period you cannot fully remember, by circumstances you had no control over. The child who grew up in an unpredictable environment developed a hidden layer that scans constantly for threat. The child who learned that love was conditional developed a hidden layer that performs constantly for approval. The child who was told repeatedly that they were not enough developed a hidden layer that interprets neutral events as confirmation of inadequacy. These hidden layers are not flaws. They were survival adaptations, built to protect. But they are operating in a present that is not the past they were built for. And they are making decisions for you every day based on a world that no longer exists. Can you change it? If the hidden layer was installed without your conscious participation, can it be changed with your conscious participation? The answer from neuroscience is yes, but not in the way most people expect. You cannot change the hidden layer by arguing with it. Logic does not reach it. Willpower does not override it. The hidden layer does not speak the language of rational thought. It speaks the language of repetition, emotion, and embodied experience. This is why people who intellectually understand their patterns cannot stop repeating them. The conscious understanding exists at the wrong level. It is like writing a software patch in English for a program written in binary. The patch never installs. What changes the hidden layer is repeated emotional experience that contradicts the original programming. New relationships that feel safe when old ones were not. New environments that prove threat is not everywhere. New successes that register at the body level, not just the cognitive level, and rewrite the expectation of failure. This is slow. It is not dramatic. It does not happen in a moment of insight. But it happens. The hidden layer is not permanent. It is just deeply practiced. What this means for who you think you are. The self you experience, the narrator of your life, the one who believes it is choosing and deciding and responding freely, is largely a construction. A story assembled after the fact from the outputs of a system it cannot directly observe. This does not mean you have no agency, but it means the agency you have is different from what you imagined. Real agency is not in the moment of decision. By the time you are consciously aware of a choice, the hidden layer has already done most of the work. Real agency is in the upstream conditions, in what you expose yourself to repeatedly, in the environments you create, in the relationships you build, and the habits you practice. These are the inputs that shape the hidden layer. And shaping the hidden layer is the only genuine freedom available to you. The person who understands this stops fighting their conscious mind against their unconscious reactions. They start building a life whose conditions gradually reprogram the layer that actually makes the decisions. That is the most powerful thing any human being can do, and almost no one knows it is even possible. If you reach this moment, write in the comments the word layer, and tell us, what decision in your life do you now suspect was made by the hidden layer before you were ever aware of it? We want to know. Subscribe and turn on the bell, because the next video goes deeper into why your most powerful habits are invisible to the part of your mind that thinks it is in charge. Until then, observe yourself, not to judge, but to see what is actually running.